For an Egyptian side facing South American opponents for the first time at the FIFA World Cup in the first 45 at the Ekaterinburg Arena, definitely holding their own, and it seems Samson opting for safety first and really trying to keep Uruguay at bay for as much of the game as possible.
I think they've done a very good job in the first half. At 0-0. I think a lot of work has been done right in the midfield with Anani, Tarek, and the rest of them, trying to keep these guys at bay. With Benzino, he had one good shot at goal. But otherwise, I think it's pretty balanced.
Yeah. I think the Egyptian side are going to be happy of the two, that's for sure. And if there's one team that can win it, I think they can win it if they go on. I just think Abdullah's got to get a little bit closer to the striker, the main striker. I think he's playing a little bit too deep. But in saying that, they've certainly been on the front foot and they've looked full of energy. I think Uruguay, a lot of questions to ask themselves, that's for sure.
That's right, and looking at the result thus far and what it is that they've offered in the first half, do you think that we'll see them opening up a little bit more flair and getting a little bolder coming up front in the second?
I think Suarez and Cavani certainly need to look at themselves. They look a little bit sluggish, both of them, a yard off the pace. And every time the ball's gone into the front, they've lost it cheaply. So certainly they need, and you know, they ended up just putting balls into the box, and I think the two central defenders have dealt well with it from Egypt.
All right, let's take a look at a summation of the first half of the action in terms of the stats, Sean, and you want to take us through this, just looking at what it is that both sides offered in the first half.
Yeah, I think obviously the bulk of the possession has been with Uruguay. I think just the final third, decision-making and poor technique has let Uruguay down specifically, because there's a few times they obviously got final third entries, but you know, when you get into the box, that's when you have to focus a bit more on doing the basics, you know, and giving possession away in those critical areas is not going to help anyone. They're getting there, but decision-making and obviously not having enough shots on target is letting them down.
So looking at how it is that they've performed, the Pharaohs thus far, they know now they've got very much of an open opportunity. Second half, how is it that they should change, quite possibly the way that they've been playing, to capitalize and get that goal, Samson?
I think the right back has to do a little bit of work. You know, only time he went in there, the crosses are very, very bad. He has to make sure he supports Wada. Wada has to move forward if they're attacking, so he can support Mawad to have more numbers going forward. If you can do that, I think you'll have more chances of going that goal.
Yeah, you agree?
I think the striker from Mohim from Egypt, I think he's got to be a little bit more on the shoulder. He's coming towards the ball all the time, but he should be coming and maybe spinning down the sides a little bit more. But the two wide players have done great. Trezeguet and Wada for Egypt have really done well there. And as I said, I think Egypt certainly will be the better and happier team come half time.
All right, and a moment that actually stood out for you, Sean, from that first half?
Yeah, I think it's got to be obviously the one highlight, one talking point that we did have. It's got to be the corner for Uruguay. And you know, we talk about obviously the critical phase, and set place is one of those areas. But we look at this specific area here, where you've got Abdallah's side along with Suarez. He's not really picking him up. And as we roll it, we'll see how quickly Suarez actually loses his marker. Again, if I just stop it on here, that is the risk, Gavin, when you've got an attacking player coming back, marking one of the danger men of Uruguay and let him go.
But the striker for Egypt, the number 9, is standing square on. So you can only see really the kick of the ball. If he was a little bit side on, you could see the ball and the man coming across, because he's jumping from a really standing still position. So I think he could have won that header.
That was Abdallah Sahid that was marking him, and obviously when you're only focusing on the ball and not the player, you're going to lose him.
Yeah.
But what about the miss from Suarez, Samson?
Oh, that was terrible. And actually he hit the ball with his shin.
Yeah.
Because if a player like Suarez in your 18-yard box, that player shouldn't leave him. All he has to do is deal with him. Whatever he does, you have to always deal with him, because you know Suarez doesn't miss that much from that area.
Yeah. So again, poor defending from Egypt that could have cost them. And like Gavin said, they should be the happy of the two teams, because they should have been 1-0 down there.
Yeah, when you talk about a little bit of the sluggish play that we've been saying, particularly in offense for Uruguay, you said we can't at this stage be talking about fatigue or the build-up. What would you attribute that?
I just feel that if you look at the Uruguay two centre midfield players are receiving the ball facing their own back four, they should be more on the half turn to get out on one touch. And the balls are going very pedestrian into them and back out, and it's been very pedestrian, the game. I think the tempo of the game needs to pick up, certainly. It picked up in the last few minutes, but certainly if you want to go through the Egyptian side, they need to up the tempo a little bit quicker with the passing from the back into the midfield, certainly.
All right, well, at this stage, I think all of the analysts here in studio are still very comfortable with their earlier predictions, not anticipating too many goals in this particular encounter, getting ready for the second half. And a reminder as well that after this matchup, we're going to get ready for our next encounter, this one in St. Petersburg, as we get the action in Group B underway, where Morocco, the other when it comes to Africa's hope, getting their campaign started against the Islamic Republic of Iran. That encounter as well. We'll start building up to it once, of course, we get this matchup at Ekaterinburg Arena done and dusted.